It is time to get raw. It is time to get down. It is time for the Raw Down, the number one source for all things WWE, right here at the Turnbuckle Tavern. I am your returning host. Took the week off last week, Young Anthony, your Raw Down champion. That is Raw Anthony. When you're the champ, you get a week's vacation. I think it's earned. But nonetheless, I am here with my co-host, the MVP Marco of the Chick Foley Show. And what is he this week?
Well, I am the NXT champion, Bone Breaker, but Young Anthony, you can't spell breaker because you left off a K in there.
Yeah, it's
luckily,
luckily,
luckily they stopped at 2 Ks.
I know, right? Yeah, you might
Starting off the episode hot and heavy, folks. Welcome to the Raw Down. We have got a stacked show for you here tonight, as we always do. But before we do, we actually have a bit of news that we want to break here on the Raw Down. And I'll be the one to do it. So, of course, our time slot is normally Tuesdays, 10 p.m. if you're watching on YouTube, and then you listen to us on Wednesday mornings. However, the Turnbuckle Tavern schedule is going to be taking a little bit of a 180 or maybe even a 360 if we get a little
360, yeah.
It's enough to get me to the boiling point, yeah.
So with that being said, we are part of this switch up. And so going forward, starting not next week, but the following week, right? Is that correct?
Yes.
In 2 weeks. In 2
like
weeks.
the September's, I think it's second episode. Well, would be
2
second.
weeks time.
It's gonna be on the 4th. So
2 weeks from tonight. 2 weeks from tonight. AEW Dynamite, 2 weeks from tonight. We will be starting a new day, Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is the day that you will be watching the Raw Down, doing a little switch up because of new schedules and school starting and work and all.
Young Anthony's got to go edit Flex Seal commercials.
I got to go edit my Flex Seal commercials. So yes, Thursdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you will get the podcast release in the morning of Friday. So a nice little change up. So if you're looking for us on Tuesdays, we ain't going to be there. So get used to us on our new day.
Yeah, some shitty thing's going to take over that time slot.
Yeah.
Whoa, hold on now. We got the long balls. The long balls.
Exactly.
Here. And if you want your daily or your weekly dose of NFL football, are you ready for some football? Yeah, that's right. You just watched us. We just had the premiere episode of the long balls. Myself, J-Bone Madden, and Hawk each and every week. Check us out. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna be let me do a quick plug while I'm in it. Next week we'll be doing the preview of the NFL season. Next week, same bat time, same bat channel, baby.
You just gave away your whole outro.
No. I got more to say.
Nonetheless, it's a great show. They just did their first little preview before Raw Down aired, so make sure to go ahead and check that out with Bone Breaker and a little bit of you get a little bit of style and grace on your show there. I had to add that in. I didn't.
Hey, well, I'm doing a little Rick Rude action. I'm appearing on multiple shows. You know, I had the Saints jersey on. I have to hurry up and switch it out. Get the Bret Hart shirt on. You know, I'm the
equivalent of shaving the mustache. Change out your shirt.
Yeah, basically.
Next time you have to come on Raw Down with no beard. That's
oh man,
goddamn pal. All right, we've wasted enough time. It's time to get into tonight's episode, whatever time you're listening to us. And that is with our first segment, and that is with the news that you can find
outside the ropes.
Young Anthony's heard us along. He's like, come on, let's go.
I know, right?
Chop. He
didn't like our long form last. He's trying to make up for lost time because we killed it last week.
He knows I have the briefcase and that he doesn't want me cashing in.
He's scared that we'll drop him because we did such a phenomenal job last week.
We did.
That's what he's.
Good point. You did. You held down the fort. I will say you did a very good job. But I'm back, so it's time to do an even better job. And now, with that being said, folks, we have to get into outside the ropes, and it seems like we're playing these little drops every week. But we're going to play it again.
You're fired.
You're fired. I'm sorry. You're fired. Get out of here.
You're fired. Fired. How the hell you gonna get fired on your day off? Yeah! Fired!
But wait, there's more.
Welcome back. Hello! Welcome! Where the hell have you been? I'm back! Hello there. I'm back. I'm going back to the big show.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
Oh
my God.
Exit Double J Jeff Jarrett. Enter Road Dogg.
We know who really sang My Baby Tonight.
Oh, you didn't know?
My days working on the go with the hands on the clock. All right, sorry.
I'm surprised.
He actually does a really good voice.
He does.
The Road Jesse James.
I do.
YouTube.
The Bone Dog, Jesse
Bone
James.
Dog.
That's next week.
Coming to a RAWDOWN episode.
I'm surprised you haven't done that one yet.
Hey,
Or have you? I feel like you have done that one.
probably not. I don't know.
Yeah, probably not. Anyways, you'll do it next week. All right, let's talk about Jeff Jarrett and Road Dogg here. So, Jeff Jarrett was actually a new inclusion to the WWE backstage personnel. He was a director of live events, I believe, something around that.
Something like that.
Yeah, executive vice president of talent or whatever. Live events, something to do with live events. They even made a little LinkedIn post about him. I don't know.
Oh my God.
It's like with all of like the new hirings and everything, and a bunch of random new hirings, and all of a sudden you just see Jeff Jarrett, director of live events, and I thought that was hilarious. So he stayed around for a few months. Jeff Jarrett. He even made an appearance on SummerSlam, being the referee for the Usos and the Street Profits. And then we get news a few days ago that Jeff Jarrett is already out of here. I don't know if he was released or if he left on his own terms. I don't know if either of you know. I believe he left.
Yeah, it seemed from what I read, it seemed like he stepped away. Not like he wasn't.
Hey, he's not no stranger to that.
I know. Yeah, he's done. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he's done that plenty of times with the WWF/WWE. Like, yeah, he's taken jobs and walked out, take another job, walk out.
He's done the job, walked out.
Yeah, done the job, walked out. Yeah, this isn't surprising to us oldies around here with Jeff Jarrett anyway.
Yeah. When it comes down to it, like I don't really see this much of a big change as far as Jeff Jarrett leaving, just due to the fact that he was really only around for a little bit of time. We didn't really get to see. I don't even know what he did as director of live events. Like
he pretty much did the live. Like he was now Triple H, but
he's a booker man.
He's a booker man for the live event. So Triple H is a gorilla position now during the shows, SmackDown, maybe NXT. I don't know, Raw. He was that for the live events. So he booked the shows.
That's a pretty cool job.
Those live event shows, but it seems like, I mean, from what I'm thinking, Road Dogg's probably just going to take that spot because he did that position before. Road Dogg, when he was with the WWE, he was like the live event coordinator guy. So they just might have exit Jeff Jarrett, enter Road Dogg, that type of thing.
So funny.
Yeah, because I thought it was going to be, I thought Shawn Michaels, because Shawn Michaels getting a new position. I thought that's what he was taking over, but his is a vice president of like talent development or something like that. So, who knows?
Yeah. I think the Road Dogg signing is a lot more interesting when you're talking about these two, just due to the fact that one, you had Road Dogg on his podcast for the longest time, like either bashing AEW, saying that he would make AEW better, or saying everything under the sun. And then, right after that, he finally gets picked back up by WWE. And so what's Road Dogg's new? So we think that he's just going to fill in the Jeff Jarrett spot. Is there another position that they mentioned? I feel like there was something else.
I don't know. There might have been.
I know prepared here on the RAWDOWN with facts and figures.
But I don't even know if they said what role.
You keep talking.
Yeah, I don't even know. Like, I know they said he accepted a position or he's been rehired, but I don't think they actually said what the position was. Like, I know more about Shawn Michaels' role now in the WWE than I do Road Dogg. So it is kind of weird. That's why I'm thinking it's just like they just swapped out him for Jeff Jarrett. I'm assuming anyway, but then again, I could be wrong because he's done a lot of he's done writing, he's done kind of like talent relation type of stuff. He's done like literally everything under the sun there.
True.
So I mean, they can pretty much put him in any position. I would be surprised if he's taking someone else's spot that might be leaving soon.
Who would that be?
Either Beaver guy or Bruce Pritchard. He could be taking one of their spots, and they haven't announced it yet.
Well, when it comes to J-Bone, you have the
yeah, it is the job that Jarrett held. That's according to Mike Johnson.
Oh, okay, all right.
So you're correct.
So I was right. Copy paste.
Yeah.
When it comes to you mentioned Beaver guy, and J-Bone, I want to get your
Beaver guy.
Beaver guy. When it comes to Kevin Dunn, I will say that I think if there's anyone that's going to replace him, I would love Jeremy Borash to be that guy because he was brought in around the late 2010s, and he was doing a lot of stuff with like the Matt when they did Broken Matt Hardy. You know, he was kind of like the visual mastermind for all of that.
Yep.
And he's done a lot of stuff. You know, he did the Boneyard match, all of these different cinematic feels. So he definitely has experience in that, right? I don't know if that transcends or if that translates rather to, producing and the visual aspects of a wrestling show. But I feel like if there's anyone to do it, he'd probably be the most qualified guy.
Let's not forget, he worked in WCW at the tail end of WCW as well, too.
He did.
Yep.
So, I mean, he's got several years of experience.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just the TNA stuff, you know.
True.
And then, I mean, he's been working for WWE for what? Going on, 4 years now or something like that? 3-4 years?
He also
Probably
did
longer.
Yeah, he also did the he did the Firefly Funhouse match, correct?
I think so. It looked like something. He has a very unique like how directors kind of have their
he has like signature shooting
or whatever.
Yeah,
that's kind of his. He has a very distinct feel to his.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if he is doing stuff for WWE now, just because of the different camera angles and stuff you're seeing now. I mean, obviously we want to give Papa H all the credit in the world for everything, but even the way like some of the angles are shot, even with the Dexter Loomis stuff that's happening, like all that type of visual, that kind of reminds me of like what he would do on those like cinematic type things. So
I wouldn't be surprised if he's already helping out on that kind of stuff. I know Kevin Dunn's not sitting there backstage like, let's do this. He'd probably be 50 million camera cuts right on Dexter Loomis's face if he was in
just
charge
like
of
zooming in and out.
Yeah, right. That's getting off topic though. J-Bone, what are your thoughts on the whole Jeff Jarrett Road Dogg thing? I mean, do you see any real change to it? Is there anything that piques your interest?
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I think you're just kind of trading out one good mind for another, to be honest with you. I don't think it's going to be a big change. I think it's funny now that now 3 members of D-Generation X now hold vice president roles, president roles in the company. You know, degenerate is something, fool.
I'm waiting for just like the Click to reunite. I'm assuming Xbox going to get in there at some point. Kevin Nash might.
Well, that's the thing that I wanted to kind of bring up, and this will be kind of that's the last question that I have, is that like, you promote Shawn Michaels to a new position of talent development or whatever it may be. You bring back Road Dogg to fill Jeff Jarrett's spot. Is there room for someone like a Kevin Nash or an X-Pac to come in as, either an advisor
I think so.
NXT? I could probably see it.
Think of NXT. Like you definitely need. I know. Like I'm not sure if Undertaker's still doing it, but he was like the go-to for the big men in the company, like to coach them on what how they should
Kevin Nash was doing it for a while.
Yeah,
too.
Kevin Nash was doing it. Yeah, like
Nash was just
stuff
working
like that.
Omos from what I heard on his podcast.
Yeah, and even like just a wrestling mind in general, dude. He was fucking part of the NWO, like one of the most the most famous faction ever in wrestling.
Yeah,
I mean the most influential, I should say. Anyway, So
I think Sean Waltman would do a little bit better job in this day and age.
yeah, probably.
Because Kevin Nash is, I want to say necessarily hung up. I mean, he knows what he's talking about. Obviously, former world champion, but he's the more of old school type, should I say?
Yeah.
And he even said on his podcast, he's like, they're just going mile a minute, and then he even talked, mentioned to Sean like, what's going down there, and he said, that's just kind of that's the way it is now. I think Sean Waltman, obviously coming from that, working underneath as a little guy or smaller guy, should I say?
Yeah.
Because Sean Waltman is not a small guy, by the way.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
He's like 6'1" or something. He just that day and age. You're going up against Razor Ramon, who's 6'7". He looks small, but he has that type of mentality for today's wrestling.
You know what?
So,
I know we don't want to, because this is going on a whole huge tangent if I open up this Pandora's box. But I'm just gonna crack it open a little bit. I think just from
do I need to hit
the
hot take?
Yeah, and no. I mean, if you want to. I mean, I don't think it's really
fine.
Hot takes here. Get your hot takes here.
So if you listen to a lot of like old school guys, obviously, and it's not even like a fact anymore. Like there's no storylines anymore. Like a lot of people are calling for like some type of storyline, some type of thing to pull you into wrestling instead of, obviously, I don't want to use a fast-paced type wrestling. If you listen to a lot of like the old school guys, what I think they can learn from them now, and AEW, WWE, any veteran that's there always tells the younger guys to slow down.
Oh, absolutely,
and let what you're doing breathe. Mm-hmm. Like it doesn't have to be a mile a minute spot. Right. Like you're not giving us as a fan time to like just ingest what the hell just happened. You're like, you're doing one spot, then you're moving on to the next one. It's like, no, let us react and then do. So I think like having a guy like Kevin Nash down there would probably, I think having both of them, you can have both schools. You can have like that, the younger, well, obviously Sean Waltman is younger than Kevin Nash, but like you can have that small, fast-paced style that he can teach out. But at the same time, you can have Kevin Nash there as the old school guy, like telling you how to like slow down in those certain spots. Like let that move breathe, let that segment, whatever you did, breathe. You don't have to keep on going. So I think they could benefit from both.
Kevin Nash was also wasn't he a booker for a while in WCW as well? I don't know if he was a good booker at that, but
he booked himself to the title, baby.
Yeah, booked himself to be Goldberg.
Well, he was a booker nonetheless, and with whatever experience. Go ahead, J-Bone.
I'm sorry, just honestly, people give him a bad rap, but that was just bad circumstance. Yeah, the finger poke of doom looked bad today, but things were supposed to happen with that.
Yeah,
like Goldberg tore his tendon by punching through a car window.
Yeah,
like it was supposed to be playing off of that finger poke of doom, and to build Goldberg back up. And unfortunately, Goldberg had to go away a little while, so the finger poke of doom stands by itself in history.
Yeah.
Well, the reason why I bring up Nash as a booker, and we'll kind of move on from this topic if we don't have anything else about Jarrett and Road Dogg. All I'll say is that like even not necessarily as like an advisor for the wrestlers or the big men or whatever, someone like Nash who has experience in writing a wrestling show, he could also be some help to, let's say, Triple H or Sean down in NXT or whatever it may be, kind of give their 2 cents on it, kind of an advisor to them, if you will. Do they need that help is another question, but I'm sure that they would want, Kevin to come in and, have a job with WWE. If he brought in Road Dogg, I don't see why not. But hey, I mean, that's another topic for another day. I'm sure we'll see at least Waltman being thrown around as a name to come in some capacity, a trainer, an advisor, whatever.
I think so.
I think Sean will be more likely to take it than Nash. I think
I think you could even have Sean as a talent too at the same time.
Sure,
building people up.
Yeah,
I mean he's jacked and stacked, baby.
He's great shape. But
So
hey, look, that's other topics to talk about another day. But for now, Jeff Jarrett out, Road Dogg in, and not a huge change, but something worth noting. Something that is worth noting that is a huge change is our next topic. And we haven't dropped it in a while, but I would say it's pretty fitting to give a quick
Down south slanging, rolling with these hustlers, trying to get rid of all you haters and you busters. Down south slanging, rolling with these hustlers, trying to get rid of all you haters and busters.
apparently you didn't watch last week's show because we dropped it last week.
Oh, you
We
did
did.
drop it. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't watch the full episode. You did a good job from what I saw, though, except for when J-Bone was flipping around on the overlay.
that was great. I enjoyed that.
So let's give another NXT report in that case. And this one's a doozy because we got word last week that NXT UK is completely just getting disbanded.
No.
It was going under the radar for a while. Not a lot of people were bringing it up. It was a very hidden gem. Like if you watched it, you knew it was a good show. They were having some good matches, but nothing worth writing home about. Now it seems that the new WWE regime has finally got to NXT UK, and it is doing away with the UK branding. But starting next year, we will be seeing the new NXT Europe, which is now taking the UK and expanding it to the entire continent. What does this mean for UK? Well, not just getting rid of the United Kingdom branding, not just merging NXT UK with the regular NXT, which we'll be seeing at Worlds Collide All Out Weekend, but we also got a slew of releases, which we hadn't gotten in a long time. It's like forever since we've gotten a mass cutting of releases. And, some names that stand out, I would say, are, if you're a fan of NXT, your Mark Andrews, Flash Morgan Webster, a few other names that, Amir Jordan, Amale, I believe her name is, just French. I don't know how to pronounce the French names. Biggest name I would say is Trent Seven in the tag team with Tyler Bate, Mustache Mountain. Were they NXT tag team champions for a while? Or is that just
Yeah,
They were.
for a little
They
bit.
Yeah, for a little bit.
They were. So, a pretty big name there. He was just starting up a feud with his tag partner, Tyler Bate, who is now NXT UK champion. So all of that taken into consideration, another 15 to 20 names cut from NXT UK. They did keep a few names, which we're starting to see on 2.0. Of course, some of those names being, Bate himself, who's the champion. Just saw Mako Satomura on tonight's show. If you're watching NXT, you got Blair Davenport, who is technically the first name who switched from AEW to WWE. You also have William Regal's son debuted on 2.0 tonight, Charlie Dempsey. So they did keep Gallus, a few other names that they kept. But ultimately, it seems like they are doing away with the UK for now. Marco, I'll start with you on this one. What are your thoughts on kind of this evolution into NXT Europe? Do you see this being a big change, or is it just going to become another NXT UK that it had a really hot start and then it kind of just fell down?
No, I think it's going to be something different. Because I know when NXT, the black and gold brand was around, I know there was things being tossed around about expanding to Japan. They're going to do an NXT Japan next. And it was NXT UK, then NXT Japan. That's what they're going to go with. But obviously, plans got scrapped, pal. And now it's, it was NXT 2.0. Yep, NXT UK was kind of the remnants of it was kind of the original black and gold brand. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna kind of lump it in and not say it's a separate thing. It's kind of that probably should have been done when the black and gold brand got rebranded. I think NXT UK got just kind of overlooked essentially when they did that. But I think this is a good move. I'm going to echo what Gunther posted, and he basically said Europe has a rich history of wrestling, of professional wrestling, and he said this is a good thing because it's going to open up a lot more. It doesn't with NXT UK kind of pigeonholes it into UK only. Where obviously you've seen a few other nationalities in NXT UK, but NXT Europe opens it up to like now it's like all these countries can Switzerland, Italy, France. Like you can see a lot more of these professional wrestlers that are in the indies over there. Now they can jump on and be a part of the WWE brand. So I actually like it. I actually like the logo and everything. It looks very diplomatic too.
Well, I don't know if that's the official logo on the.
No, I know, but it looks pretty cool if they.
Yeah, it was a cool little edit that I found. J-Bone, you're not a huge NXT 2.0 fan. Definitely not UK. I'm not even a UK fan, to be honest. But this is something that they're starting to build up. It seems. Europe. You're taking what you had in UK and you're evolving into the entire continent. Like I mentioned, you already had some names from other countries that were in UK, so you might as well just expand those horizons. I guess my question to you is what is it going to take for NXT Europe? It's going to take a while to get that ingrained in my brain. What is it going to take for NXT Europe to pique your interest? Is it something that you see being interesting at all? Or
well, I thought you were gonna give me my take on it. So I was
go ahead.
I was just gonna do this.
Gold jacket, green jacket. Who gives a shit?
See, now you got the access to the drops there, so have fun.
Honestly, I don't. This whole thing. I talked about it on my podcast last week. The one thing I will have to say, it's an interesting move because it almost, and this is something I kind of always thought about, like all these territories around the world were almost like the territories in the United States 40 years ago. And it almost feels like this is Vince 2.0 coming in, destroying those territories a little bit, So that is one thing that I do find kind of interesting about this is what's going to happen to as they continue to progress around the world, And honestly, I don't know what took them so long to do something like this. Even before NXT, why wasn't this done in the 90s?
Well, I guess it's harder to,
I guess maybe not the 90s, but at least the 2000s, during the Ruthless Aggression era.
Yeah.
The 90s, they were kind of building back up, but post WCW world, why wouldn't they all right, pal.
Yeah.
I like to crush my competition.
Well, go ahead, Marco.
I was gonna say maybe they didn't see any, any companies over there, any wrestling, organizations that they wanted to kind of take over and squeeze out. Right? Obviously those, we can't be blind and say there was no wrestling in Europe in the 2000s, stuff like that.
Right.
But I think it's a lot more global now, in a sense where WWE itself is global. It's a global brand. Why not make NXT also a global brand? And I think that's what was probably supposed to happen. But like I said, there was the original regime wasn't going to let that happen. You've seen it automatically with that NXT 2.0 where they just scrapped the black and gold and made it all colorful and crazy. And now Triple H is in charge again, or back in charge, or newly in charge, and that's his baby. NXT's his baby, and I think he's just taking whatever plans he had before, and he's actually acting upon them now because he can.
Well, also, don't forget, if it even was something that the Vince regime wanted to do, you really couldn't do it in the last few years because of the pandemic.
True, exactly.
Yeah, you can't have all of that happening, and especially for something like Europe, that you're going to all these different countries where travel was blocked. I'm sure they're still having issues to this day.
Yep.
But I feel like this is a really, really good idea for them. Like I said, you were already well. First of all, what I just mentioned, this is the time, if any, to start doing this. We're just out of the pandemic, things are starting to calm down. So this at least is an open door for you to start doing something like this. It also, like you guys mentioned, gives them more of a global presence. And even though it's not necessarily WWE Europe, which I'm sure if this was a Vince thing, that would be what it is, WWE. So it's a little surprising that they're calling it like NXT Europe. But maybe they want to evolve that brand. And Triple H is kind of taking back that reign and being like, yeah, this is what it's going to be.
Hopefully it's not like NFL Europe. Ugh.
Well, I think too. I think he wants to like hold like those tryouts and all that stuff over in Europe, and get some people from overseas, because they all can't travel to like when they do these pay-per-views, when they do the big pay-per-views and they have these tryouts, or when they're just doing normal tryouts. Now they can just do it in whatever country they deem fit. Send a team out there. I think Road Dogg actually mentioned that he was I think it was him and I think it was him and someone else when they were starting the India thing a few years back, like getting more into India, the Jinder Mahal, that whole run and stuff like that. So they were doing that at a really, really small scale. They were going overseas and, trying to scout talent that way. I think this is just another way for them to scout like worldly talent, as opposed to, seeing someone like, try out in the United States. Now you can actually just have that access overseas. People are going to come to it anyway, because it's branded WWE essentially. So
yeah, no, good point. And you also, this is really good to expand to Europe, because I don't know what the extent of the partnerships are with the smaller companies that are, outside of the United States. But, on Peacock, you have, ICW from Scotland. You have WXW from, I believe, Germany.
Yep.
That's what I was going to talk about with the different promotions,
Yeah.
Right. So you have a lot of different assets at your plate. If you want to start doing those collaborations, kind of doing some talent trades or whatever it may be, or, whatever. I think NXT Europe is a very blanket type of company that it could be multiple different things. I mean, I just like the idea of having the opportunity to see different, if it's weekly shows or different events at different types of countries. Like you have a show in this country, you have a show in this country. So if it's that way, that's cool. However they're going to do it, I'm sure it's going to be a lot better than UK. I know J-Bone's not really
different. I mean, I'm interested in the different styles of wrestling too, because there's definitely different styles of professional wrestling out there.
Yeah,
different rules as well, as you've seen in NXT UK when they did that tournament. I forget what the name of the cup was.
The Heritage.
Yeah, the Heritage Cup, like the rules and stuff, how it was broken down. That was it's pretty interesting. It was definitely different.
It's like the ROH Pure, like that type of concept.
Yeah, like a 3-round stuff. Like 10-minute. Yeah. It'd be pretty cool. I'm interested to see what they do with it.
Yeah. I'm sure J-Bone isn't, but that's A-okay with me.
Where's my smoke and rope shaking?
Yeah, J-Bone's good old fashioned American wrestling. Yeah. That's what he likes. I
want face paint, t-shirt tearing. I want
tassels all over the place.
I'm not here to change the goddamn world.
Put Hulkamania in Europe, and then it'll get J-Bone's attention. Well, not Hulkamania.
Definitely not the. I'm not gonna forget it. I was gonna make a joke, but we'll move on.
Goddamn, Bill.
Anyways, well, that just about sums it up for Outside the Ropes. I think it's time that we get into our next segment. Let's get inside the ring.
Collar and elbow.
Collar and elbow. So this topic's going to be a relatively quick one. I don't think there's much to say about it. But we had Edge versus Damian Priest last night in the main event. Solid match, and we'll talk about the match itself later on in the show. Edge, of course, got the win, and he cut a promo after Raw, and he mentioned that if there was ever a place for him to retire, he wants it to be next year when they go to Toronto in August. I don't know if they're set to go to Toronto in August.
They usually kind of stick with the same
right?
months.
Yeah. SummerSlam was in Toronto in 2019.
But like they kind of follow the same path.
Okay, so yeah, in that case, it makes sense.
Just all over, United States and Canada and stuff. So
yeah,
typically.
So in that case, Edge is looking to I guess, call it a career in a year. So we have roughly 365 days of Edge left as an active competitor, and I want to get your thoughts on it. But before we do so, let's get back to Outside the Ropes for just a moment. As Ace is in the chat, he mentions the goal of NXT UK was to put our IWA out and poach their talent.
Intense Wrestling Association.
Okay. No need anymore since NXT UK killed IWA, and now it's gone. By proxy, they stunted Rev Pro's growth as well. I don't think NXT Europe taking off anytime soon, and it'll be a back burner project for Triple H when he sees fit. Pretty much released everyone. Well, I mean, you still got so much talent in the in the entire world that we don't even know about yet.
Yeah.
So I think there's different ways that we could see fit, and as
Fufu shma shma.
Oh my god!
Jeez. God damn it! Let's go.
If you listen to Cheap Pete, they like the old fufu shma shma.
Let's go back to collar and elbow before we say something else that'll get us. All right, Edge. 1 year left. It seems wants to retire in Toronto. J-Bone. What are your initial thoughts on this? Do you see just a single year left for Edge? And I don't know, who are some names that you would want to see Edge go up against in this last retirement run?
Oh man, you throwing me for a loop on that last question there. But yeah, I mean, I don't think it's a big surprise. Yeah, I don't think it was a big surprise that Edge is gonna be going. I mean, I would like, even though Judgment Day sucks and the whole thing sucks, I would like to see him go up against Finn Balor. That was just a matchup anyway. I would like to see, a good blood feud, and we're probably gonna get this pretend blood feud here in a little while, and then we'll kill off Judgment Day finally. Let's see some other names. Let me think. Walter would be fun. I would like to see him go up against Walter. Maybe some. Let's see. Maybe like maybe a potential match against Rey Mysterio. Something like someone that he was with, or AJ Styles. I mean, that kind of thing.
The thing about Edge is that you theory, yeah,
you could really build Theory up. By putting him up against Edge. I definitely want to see more younger talent. Riddle, we haven't seen him go up against Riddle.
Yeah,
that'd be fun. So I think Gangrel,
Gangrel. Yeah, in this year, from August to August, we need at least one Gangrel appearance.
Come on.
Come on, pal. Marco, what are your thoughts on Edge's imminent retirement? And any dream matches for you?
I mean, yeah, I don't think it's a surprise that he's going to retire at some point. I mean, I don't see him leaving it. I mean, not him. I was actually thinking of Rey Mysterio because he made a comment saying like he has no date on when he's retiring, so Rey Mysterio can be going on forever. But Edge, on the other hand, since we know it's August of next year, I don't see it as a surprise that he's going to retire. I mean, he's he still looks great in the ring and all that stuff. It's not like he's like kind of like lost a step at all. But I think it's time. He's done all his dream matches that he's wanted so far with like AJ Styles and all that stuff. Even though it wasn't the greatest outing, that's how I think we kind of shit on that match. But I think his last match with Edge anyway, his matches have to make sense. He doesn't just take matches as like dream matches. Like he has to have like a storyline going into it.
Yep.
And for my thing, I think his last match is, it would have to be against like Randy Orton or somebody, or John Cena or someone from his past. That's what I'm thinking anyway. I mean, him and Randy Orton did have the greatest wrestling match ever.
Yep, they did.
They could try to top it, but I mean, it's going to be someone meaningful. If I'm calculating Edge and the way his storylines go, it's definitely going to be like someone from his past or something like that, or someone that something that has to have meaning for him to leave. Someone that's going to take him out. Could be Roman Reigns. Who knows?
Christian's coming back.
Christian could. Depending on what his contract looks like. Who knows? That could be that would be like a perfect like final match for Edge.
But it needs to be AEW like heel Christian. Just come out, say some shit about Edge.
I want to fuck Beth Phoenix.
Yeah. I'm gonna slap your daughters right across their face.
It's the most out of pocket.
That's what he's gonna say though.
Beth's in the crowd, like he's gonna be eating birthday cake out of a straw. Your husband's a piece of shit.
I love when Christian does his MJF gimmick. It's really good. It's awesome. We're missing that.
I agree. It's got to be someone. His last match definitely has to be. I don't know if Cena would do it. I'm sure he would. Like, it's just given the right time and place, do a final match with Edge. Orton is probably the more likely candidate. But you definitely got to get those younger guys in, like your Theories and your Riddles.
Oh yeah, you did, yeah.
Fucking Karrion Kross. I don't know.
That's a good one. I would like to see
Karrion Kross TikTok. Yeah, I could see that. That's
possibilities are endless with Edge. That
would be a good retirement match too. Like do the TikTok thing.
Yeah.
Or Baron Corbin. You see how good that was for him and Kurt Angle.
God, please don't do that. Don't give him that. Yeah, can we boot him? We can boot him.
There's a lot of different names that can be thrown out there. But I guess we'll be talking about this like next August. Will
you don't like Edge?
You don't like Edge? I don't like Edge because by next August he's going to need a retirement match, and
I need someone to step up.
It's true.
Need someone.
Not the Judgment Day. It's not the Judgment Day. Unfortunately,
maybe Judgment Day will be. Maybe it'll be a 3-on-1 for his last match.
Ooh, yeah.
That'll be the nice burial and send off of Judgment Day. So.
And they win, and they beat him,
and they become the most dominant faction in WWE history.
Oh, congratulations! Y'all beat a 50-year-old man. Good job. So over, bro.
Oh my gosh, love Edge. You don't like Edge? Well,
don't like Edge. Edge is definitely one of my faves of all time.
Oh, same here. I would say he's in my top 15 favorites. I love Edge.
Yeah, somewhere in there. Yeah, I think it's fair.
Well, I'm also younger, so
no, I think it's good. Even for my old ass. So
he's a legend, dude.
All right, well, let's get into our final collar and elbow topic, and it's one that might spark some in-depth conversation here.
Oh boy,
because we got yet another return.
Welcome back.
Hello! Welcome! Where the hell have you been? I'm back! Hello there. I'm back.
I'm going back to the big show.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Chick Foley Show. I'm Seth. I'm joined with Chick Foley herself, Sheena Phelps, and oh shit! I guess we're not.
Sheena got ugly.
I guess we could be Chick Foley Show. But,
Sheena got hairy and ugly. Poor Sheena.
Love the Chick Foley Show. If you haven't already. Marco's part of the Chick Foley Show. Anyways, Johnny Gargano's back.
Yeah, yay!
So Gargano makes his return randomly on Monday Night Raw after a commercial break, and the crowd
love it.
Had to get a little warm right off the bat. The pop wasn't huge, but I have my thoughts on that, which I'll get to in a little bit. But they eventually did get very warm to Gargano, chanting Johnny Wrestling, chanting Welcome Back. And Gargano cuts a nice promo, interrupted by Theory. Theory, it's a super kick. They mention their history with The Way and NXT, which is something that wouldn't happen in Vince's WWE. Johnny Sports Entertainer, if you will. And yeah, Johnny Wrestling is back. Gargano is a member of the Raw roster. So,
yeah.
Marco, it seems that you're excited, so I'm going to send it to J-Bone instead because he's already told us that he has some not so nice words about this. And do I need to hit the hot takes button?
I got it.
Oh, you got it. Go ahead.
Hot takes here. Get your hot takes here.
I would say this is tied with shit row as the most lackluster return that's happened in the last few weeks. Like, this was horrible. Absolutely horrible. Okay. You have a talent like Johnny Gargano, and he just walks out there. No storyline, no reason to be out there. Oh, yeah, I'm here. Oh yeah, hey, what's up? Yep, you missed me. Oh, hey, what's up, there? Yeah, I know you're kind of a bad guy, but I'm a really good guy, and we were part of this thing, and we did this thing, and you want to do the high five? I'll kick you. All right, and I'm out. Green jacket, gold jacket, who gives a shit? They had a missed opportunity of debuting him a few weeks back in Cleveland. They could have done the same thing in Cleveland. He would have gotten a huge pop, and then you're off to the races. Now you're 2 steps back on Johnny Gargano, and like that crowd couldn't care less about Gargano being there. In my opinion. I mean, it was a dead pop. It was a okay, it's Johnny Gargano. We're supposed to be happy. Yay. That's what it felt like to me.
Well, to be fair, it's a theme song that isn't really that popular with the the main roster. And from what I saw on the Titantron, they didn't show the name Gargano until about like a few seconds into the entrance. So their biggest mistake was not immediately showing Johnny Gargano on the screen. Because if they did that, and I know it's the little details, but if they did that, I think you would have gotten a much bigger pop. Because the second, and even when his little logo came up, it started getting warmer. But once it said Gargano, that's when it really got warmed
Why
up.
do that after coming off a commercial break? That's your second to last segment. That's usually whenever you have a 24/7 segment or some bullshit like that.
Well, have you noticed that shit ain't around anymore?
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is, it's some bullshit segment, and you're gonna bring out Johnny Gargano. I could see if we were like 5 years into the. Or not even that. Let's say a year into the Triple H regime or whatever you want to call it, and he's kind of doing this, peppers it in. You never know what will happen. Let's look at Karrion Kross's re-debut. That was awesome. Like you debuted him like right in the main event scene. I mean, he looks like 10 times better. Gargano comes out and he looks. Who's this guy? Not to mention, not everybody watches NXT. And even they did, some people may not remember. The casual fan may not remember. Okay, wait. I recognize this guy. Who is this guy? Oh, okay. Well, is he in some kind of storyline? What's he doing here? And not everybody is a huge wrestling fan like we are. So I think they really botched the whole thing, to be honest with you.
Well, I feel like this opens up another conversation that because I knew you were going to come in here and you were going to be, negative about it. And you have a right to be. Like, you could have done it multiple ways. Like, if you wanted to do something with Ciampa, if you wanted to do something in Cleveland, you had a lot of different ways you could have gone about it. But I feel like this opens up another conversation of like, does every return need to be a big deal? And what I mean by that is it good for Triple H or WWE to present every single person that returns as, this is an Impact player, this is a big thing?
No.
Why wouldn't you?
There's a difference from it being a huge return to it just being a reintroduction. I mean, like, what I mean is, like, if you are bringing in every single person as, this Impact player right away, going to change the world, that's what AEW is doing right now.
Yeah.
And they brought in Parker Bordeaux as a Impact player. And look at what's happening right now.
We're talking about Parker Bordeaux versus Johnny Gargano here.
All right. Well, maybe Johnny Gargano isn't immediately going to be a main event talent. I mean, they're already putting him with Theory. He's probably
He should be.
mid-card. Right. He's probably going to start at the mid-card. And then
yeah, that's fine.
Maybe
but
do
I mean,
some tag team stuff with Ciampa, and then he'll go back to main event. But
they literally introduced him as cold as ice. Like, had nothing planned. Like, what I mean, nothing planned, but like, there's no reason for him to be out there. It made no sense.
Well, that's the point of a reintroduction. It's that you don't need like this huge return. It's just the fact that this is their way of showing.
But Johnny Gargano, they did a better job with Hit Row and Dexter Lumis than they did with this guy.
Well, Dexter Lumis has a spot on the card right now, and someone like Karrion Kross.
Yeah, they introduced a story. They introduced a story with him. Like it all filtered in at the same time. This, he just, hey guys, it's good to be back. You miss me? No, you don't remember me?
Right. Well, I don't know. I just don't think that everyone I mean, just look at Hit Row. I mean, although they don't have a story right now, I feel like every single person that Triple H has brought back in has a spot. Karrion Kross, the next in line to go up against Roman or Drew. Hit Row helps out the SmackDown tag team division, which absolutely needed help. Yep. Dakota Kai brought in to help the women's division and start this new faction. Now Johnny Gargano, he doesn't have that spot yet, or rather, he doesn't have a story yet, but Triple H wanted him back on that roster just to have him. Like, you don't need this huge, because then it sets an expectation.
This is arguably the biggest name, the biggest name out of the bunch.
Yeah, and I'm with Anthony on that one. I think he's right. It does set an expectation for Johnny Gargano, and I don't think
that's like. Sorry to cut you off, Marco, but
that's
like,
all right.
This is what happened with like Keith Lee, right? They brought in Keith Lee, and I always talk about this because I think Keith Lee was the number one guy that they fucked up bringing up to the
You're comparing apples and oranges though here.
No, I'm not. Well, first of all, Keith Lee was one of the biggest names in NXT.
That was the Vince era though. That was the Vince era.
He would still be a big name if it was the Triple H era.
Okay, but you're comparing apples and oranges now.
Listen, what I'm saying is you bring in Keith Lee and you immediately put him in the main event spot with Drew and Randy Orton before their pay-per-view match. They're in a feud that's already, 2 months in at this point, and they immediately slot him in to the main event.
That killed him.
And that killed him, and it immediately went back down.
Because the story didn't make sense.
Right.
Exactly.
So if you slot Johnny Gargano into a story with, let's say, Ciampa, it doesn't make sense right now because there's already
Why? They have history.
They have history, but there's already a story going on with the Miz and Ciampa. You need to fill out those plot holes before you go ahead and
you wait to bring in Gargano. It's simple.
You could have
sign him
to bring him in,
sign him, and then wait to bring him in. Now you got 2 weeks until this pay-per-view. They're gonna have a match now, him and Theory. Like, really?
I mean, it's just
they've done that plenty of times. They've done 2-week storylines.
It's not good. We complain about it. We complain about it with AEW. We complain about it with WWE.
And I don't even think
that to be 5 weeks. Let's be real here.
I don't even think they're having a match. I don't think that's happening.
I'm just saying. Like, I mean, why wouldn't they just? It just doesn't make sense.
That's the whole point. It's just a reintroduction. You need to get your feet. You're talking about a casual audience here, right? Johnny Gargano, like you said, not a lot of people knew who he was based off the pop alone. They had to see his name to know who he was. They've been building up someone like Theory. Theory has history with Johnny Gargano. This is a reintroduction feud to see what Johnny Gargano is all about. So then when we get to the point where the Ciampa and Miz thing is slowing down, we can break Ciampa away. Now you put Gargano in because he's already gotten warmed up. The fans know him. And now the hardcore.
It just feels like there's zero confidence. There's no confidence in them.
I don't think so. I think that's the total opposite.
Well, Marco, you haven't got the chance to speak. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I would say this for Cleveland, that's too easy. You know, he's automatically going to get a pop.
It would work. Cleveland. Yeah, because it would work.
No, but you can't. For me, that's too easy. So you put him in Cleveland where he's going to get a pop, and then he shows up somewhere else and he doesn't get a pop. It's like, oh, but these people pop only because he's from that town. That's kind of
that's how you reintroduce it. No, and then now people are like, oh, that guy was a big deal because people cheer for him.
See, I say they cheered from last night as well. I mean,
it was a smattering.
Yes, he would have got a bigger pop because he's from Cleveland, but he still got a big pop in
the
Toronto.
People who were
in another
saying
country.
that the crowd didn't cheer for Gargano were the people that watched the Instagram reel of Gargano coming.
I watched it live. I was like, ooh, it was awkward.
I seen a pop, dude. I don't know. I mean,
it was awkward.
I would have turned up your volume.
It was a gradual pop, but what could you expect? So how about this? If that whole segment happened in Cleveland, would you be okay with it?
Yeah. Well,
come on.
No, not as much. I wouldn't hate it as much. There's still no story. Let's think about Adam Cole for a second. Okay. Adam Cole debuts in AEW All Out, and he debuted into a story because people thought he was coming out to challenge Kenny Omega. Right? They saw they saw Adam Cole's name pop up. Think of that pop.
Well, and then then what they do? They stomped on his thing with fucking Daniel Bryan.
They definitely
right
killed
afterwards.
100%. Well, no, I wouldn't say that. No, not necessarily, because Daniel Bryan that got the crowd ready and juiced up whenever Daniel Bryan came out. Bryan Danielson, whatever.
They're gonna pop regardless if Daniel Bryan came out.
Right, but think of that. Just remember that pop of Adam Cole. Adam Cole and Gargano, mirror images of each other.
There was definitely a pop, but like there was a spot for Cole. Like Cole was immediately like you could have brought him in.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. There was no spot to put Gargano in right now.
Right, but
they just
talking about
pushed him out there.
Caters to a hardcore fan base, to the fact that they could have brought Adam Cole in any point, and it would have been completely fine because he was immediately going into that Undisputed Era, fucking Bullet Club, Elite storyline. I don't know why I said Bullet Club. That's what came to mind.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You're talking about a casual audience for the WWE. NXT was that niche kind of wrestling show that the hardcore fans could sink their teeth into, that super indie. So everyone knew who Johnny Gargano was. You're talking about Raw just got a 2 million rating. 2 million people watched Monday Night Raw. Not a lot of those people know who Johnny Gargano is. So you need to warm them up a little bit by bringing them in with someone like a Theory.
So you push them out cold. Yeah.
No.
Like, go out there, kid. Go get
yourself
over.
You need to start off a little cold to eventually get warm. You know, you don't start the shower and it's immediately boiling hot.
So let me put it to you this way: you watch a movie. Let's say you watch a Tom Cruise movie, okay?
Okay.
Or you just watch any movie. It doesn't have to be just any kind of movie, all right? Mm-hmm. And a guy walks into the scene, and you have no clue what you're doing. What are you gonna do? You're gonna start cheering for him? Are you gonna start booing him?
It's gonna
because you don't know what you're gonna do, right?
No.
Because you don't know who this person is.
I'm gonna keep watching the movie to see who this guy is.
With your hands
exactly
underneath your legs. Because
I think with my eyes glued to the TV because I want to see who this guy is. Yeah,
but that we're okay. That's what movies, right? Okay.
We
make movies, right?
We make movies,
but also,
but not anymore.
But also, there's we also need the fan reaction to go along with it.
There was a fan reaction.
There was not.
Yes, there was.
There was not. It was a very smattering. It was like it just gradually got big. It honestly was like no difference in Riddle coming out, or it should have been a bigger pop. That's it. That's all I'm saying. I think they really just forced it down their throats. Like, here's Johnny Gargano. And hey, say hi to the kids, and his promo honestly was fucking lame. To be honest with you, like I could care less.
I think he just likes Johnny Gargano. That's what I'm getting from this.
I don't know. I think this is a very small detail in what's about to happen with Johnny Gargano.
Yeah,
I think like if you look at it like 3 months from now, you're probably gonna fucking forget that there was. Like the first 3 seconds, there was no pop, and that's what it's all about. You just needed to get him on TV, and you needed to put him with someone that the people already know. People know who Theory is.
Boring. It was just boring. It was stupid. And if that's how they're going to keep doing their returns, then they're going to be in trouble.
Well, they can't make a big return. I'm with Anthony on that. You can't make a big return for every single person that returns.
But then don't bring them back because you're just going to kill them.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I was real quick. I was in the crowd whenever the Gargano and Ciampa went to the main roster first time around. Now, Fortunately, this is where I live. But it was like people sitting on their hands. Like, what the fuck? Like, who is this? Like, we don't care.
That was an idiotic way to do it because they brought in 4 NXT guys.
That's the idiotic way of doing it. But this is the smart way of doing it?
No, because they immediately brought them. Well, first of all, Ciampa and Gargano were feuding at the time. So that in itself was dumb.
Yeah, that was stupid.
It's dumb because they immediately brought them into this tag team feud. You know, they're this tag team all together and they're feuding with the Bar and everything. And they didn't explain who he was. Gargano comes out yesterday, cuts a promo, gives his intention, talks about where he's been, is very relatable. Fans are behind his promo. And then Theory comes out, who he's had history with. So you get those hardcore fans, but you're still keeping those casual fans because people know who Theory is, but are still interested in Gargano. And now you have your first feud. An easy entry for Gargano. So now, after, let's say, if they do the match at Clash of the Castle, or if they do it, fucking whenever, now you have an entry point. If you want to go the Ciampa route, you can do that. If you want to have him go for the United States title or the IC title, you can do that. But you warmed him up with just a little feud. That's all it is. Not everyone has to be a big thing. Hit Row wasn't a huge... Hit Row debuted the exact same way.
Yeah,
right after the commercial break.
We said it last week. It wasn't great.
It sucked because I mean, we're going to talk about Hit Row in a little bit.
Yeah, it sucked for other reasons.
Yeah.
But
I think they did this perfectly. I think this is tarnished
not perfectly
by 3 seconds of silence.
Yeah,
if
that's huge.
I mean, they were chanting Johnny Wrestling, so I'm going to go with
they
that.
were
know
loud as shit during the promo.
It's not like he said, "Hey, I'm Johnny Wrestling," and they're like, "Johnny Wrestling." They did it on their own whim.
Yeah, they
all chanted Johnny Wrestling.
Like, who the fuck is this guy? After they finally saw, because
that would have been
listens to NXT themes on their Spotify. That's just the way it is. Not everyone knows these theme songs.
I mean, if they didn't chant Johnny Wrestling, I'd be like 100% with you. But they're fucking all chanting Johnny Wrestling. Yeah. That's a fucking indie name. That's not Johnny Gargano's name. Like, that's a name that you know in the indies. If they didn't chant anything, I'd be like, yeah, they fucked up. But they were chanting his name.
Yeah. Ace Fields in the chat, he mentions, can't think of a bigger vote of confidence than giving him a full entrance and cutting a promo. For the casual fan, only big deals get the time in a segment like that. Perfect intro, in my opinion. True. Hit Row didn't get a big pro. Well,
they had a stupid shitty match and then had a shitty promo afterwards. That was like an all around horrible reintroduction for me anyway.
But they needed to come back to help that tag division. It's just the fact that they didn't need this huge entry. They just needed to be back to help out this division.
Yeah, I get it.
And maybe Gargano just needs to be back right now, and eventually they'll find their spot. Karrion has a spot right now. Dexter definitely has a spot right now. I don't know.
I see gold. I see gold around his way soon. That's what I see.
Yeah. I don't know. Any final thoughts on this Gargano stuff before we move on?
I said my piece. So.
And you were wrong. Rock'em Sock'em Wrestler is in the chat. He says, I agree with young Anthony. Thank you, as everyone said. And Marco for Scherzies. I don't fucking know who Gargano is, but the pop he got let me know that he is a big deal. And I should keep an eye on him now.
I just didn't hear it. I didn't hear the pop. So
I think you have selective hearing.
Yeah, I do think you got to get.
I think he hates Johnny Gargano, dude.
Selective hearing.
I think he hates him. I don't think he likes him.
No, this is what he was doing when Gargano came out. La 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 la.
No, that's what I do when I hear you talk.
I wish I could do that when I hear myself talk. I mean,
a lot of people do this. They could do that.
Anyways, good talk though. This was a very good discussion. I think there's different outlooks on it. I think I'm right. I think Marco's right too.
I think I'm right.
Well, I think it is time for our next segment. As I get the graphic up.
Oh, who can't get it up? Who can't get it up? Who can't get the graphic up?
Blue Chew.
Yeah,
Blue Choo Choo.
Get that Blue Choo Choo.
Where's the graphic at?
Here it is.
Are you sweet?
Who won the week?
Who won the week?
Good job. You got the graphic up.
You know, you have access to the StreamYard too. You knew what was coming next.
I just like to see you struggle.
All right. Let's talk about SmackDown first. So we have this women's tag team tournament going on. And it's kind of becoming all over the place.
Stay bitten.
It's a Madden curse for that.
The title is just fucking cursed, man. So let's talk about it. We had Zoe Stark and Nikita Lyons from NXT were supposed to be in this tournament. Unfortunately, Zoe Stark sustained an injury, and Nikita Lyons, well, she didn't get that.
She didn't get that.
She's not vaxxed or waxed.
Yeah.
She didn't get that. That little slaps.
Little slaps on the shoulder.
Little Ric Flair slap. So Nikita Lyons, Zoe Stark were taken out of the tournament. They probably should have figured this out before they went to another country where it was mandatory. Instead, we got Gigi Dolan and JC Jane of Toxic Attraction.
No, that's Botchic Attraction.
Well, I'll get there. We got the tag team of Toxic Attraction,
Botchic
which
Attraction.
I was excited to see. They're a good character tag team. They're something a little different.
So are the Bushwhackers.
Bushwhackers were not Bushwhackers were awful. Toxic Attraction, just a good tag. You would expect them to be in this tournament because they're the top tag team down in NXT, and they have a not so good match with Natalya and Sonya. The crowd were pretty hot for it, but it was
I watched the match, and a matter of fact, I fell asleep in the middle of it.
It was one of those matches.
I fell asleep in the middle of it. I was a little cringy during it.
It wasn't great. But last little point is now Gigi Dolan has apparently suffered a concussion or something, and now they're out of the tournament. Now there will be a second chance fatal four-way this Friday to determine who is going to the semifinals.
Just give it to Sky and Kai already, all right?
Yeah. Just hand it over.
Just strap it up. Let's go. Let them face. Bring back Sasha Banks and Naomi. Let's fucking go. Let's see them. Let's see them do work.
Just put Ronda and Shayna in a tag team and just fucking call it a night.
Yeah.
Just let them tear through everybody.
I mean,
that's my booking.
I don't hate it.
There's a lot of different ways that. I mean, with this tag tournament, what I will say is, at least they're putting some emphasis on the tag team division.
Yep, they're trying.
They're trying, but I mean, like, you got matches like this Toxic Attraction stuff. Like, obviously, they're not ready from an in-ring standpoint, and maybe that was partially why they're not in the tournament going forward. But nevertheless, I think we were all in agreement that Dakota Kai and Io Sky are going to win this thing.
Yeah.
As they should. I mean, new team, you got to win it. Let's see what else happened on SmackDown. Well, let's get this out of the way. We mentioned them before. Hit Row had a another pretty bad segment. They had a performance. They interrupted Maximum Male Models.
And why would you do that? Maximum Male Models is legit one of the best things on SmackDown. Come on, man.
They're a really good tag. And who even knows if Maximum Male Models is going to be around for a while? Like, I'm thinking LA Knight's coming back soon, which I don't. Triple H has been on the money with a lot of these decisions. Keep Maximum Male Models, dude.
I want Max Dupree. Come on.
They can keep it. They can keep Maximum Male Models. They have his sister. They kind of introduce his sister or whatever, his sister quotations, to like kind of take over. So they might be maybe they're still on the fence of having him exit, but they can do some shit where he comes out and he's just like, you know what, I'm not doing this shit anymore. Yeah. And he does his LA Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
can see that happening.
Maximum Male Models is so good though.
King is so good.
The King.
I love a good model in wrestling.
It says no Swerve and Hit Row, not interested.
Exactly.
Yeah, it seems like Swerve is just the missing
it's just not
piece.
good.
They've gone on record to say like, you know, they're the original Hit Row or whatever. Like Swerve was just an addition, but
don't do that.
I don't know what they're doing with them. Obviously, they're not like this huge team, but doing stuff like this is not going to win fans over. They gotta.
They're almost like Brodus Clay and Jace right now.
Pretty much, yeah.
They have the same fireworks too.
Somebody
That sounds like Asian gay music.
Someone else that's on a roll is our final topic for SmackDown, and that's Sheamus. Sheamus won a fatal 5-way with Madcap Moss, Happy Corbin, Ricochet, and Sami Zayn, hometown Sami Zayn. I liked it. And Sheamus, they got a lot of time, and you know what? I'm just gonna drop it in right here. I'm giving this match of the week. This was a fantastic fatal 5-way match. Sami Zayn was on fire with the crowd, which I love to hear. Sami was a really good part of SmackDown last week. Everything with Roman and stuff was really fun.
Storyline, yep.
A lot of story there.
We didn't talk about that. Why? Did we talk about the exact reason why the Usos weren't on the show, or no?
Oh, well.
Yeah. You could have left that on the outside of the ropes.
Because they see me swerving. They hate me.
Talk about Swerve. There's a Swerve. So, yeah, I'd have to give that my match of the week. But nonetheless, we got Sheamus as your number one contender for Gunther. Marco, what are your thoughts on this matchup?
Obviously, you know, they wanted the hometown hero to pull off the win. But, you know, I know that was a Vince McMahon thing. He wasn't a big fan of, you know, the hometown person winning in their hometown because it's too predictable. So I do like the fact that they did like the kickouts and they had people on the edge of their seats and stuff thinking Sami Zayn was going to win. I would have liked to see how that storyline went if he did with the that match against Gunther and how that was going to play in with Roman Reigns. Would Roman Reigns help him win because he wanted another belt added to the bloodline? He comes out, Superman punches Gunther or something like that. Or
it'd be a great match if they let him go too, Sami Zayn. If they let him just be Sami Zayn.
Yeah, so that was my own like booking, but I'm not mad at the where it's obviously where the pay-per-view is going to be, or premium live event's going to be. I'm not mad at the Sheamus Gunther matchup because I can tell you one thing, that's probably going to be match of the week or match of the night because they're going to beat the living shit out of each other.
That's going to be good.
Guaranteed. Sheamus is going to be as red as a lobster.
They might die.
Yeah, they gotta kick the shit out. They're gonna see some shoots. You're gonna see some shoot fighting on that. Guaranteed. That's.
Be a good
I'm already
match.
picking that as my match of the night. I haven't seen it yet.
With one thing Triple H could do, we could bring back Sheamus's original theme music. That'd be great. Oh. It's a shameful thing, lobster head.
I can see them doing it. I mean, they're talking about bringing back Drew's old theme. You're in front of
out of time.
Cardiff.
Yeah,
do it.
So say goodbye. That theme slaps. By the way,
you know how much I popped when Jeff Hardy brought his his theme back on SmackDown. Dude,
we know how much young Anthony popped word.
Nothing better than a good 2010s or late 2000s theme song return. Let me tell you,
that's so great. But yeah, that definitely. I mean, I would have liked to see, like I said, from my own booking standpoint, I would like to see what they would do with the Sami Zayn win and how that would play into it. But I got a funny feeling. I mean, I think a lot of people leaning towards this. Bloodline might be a crack in the shield that night, I think.
Yeah, maybe.
We the ones, and you the twos.
I think something's happening that night. I don't know, man.
You have to flip it. You the twos, and we the ones.
Whatever. Same thing.
Can they do this? Do they have to do this? Did they do the we the ones before they went into... If you can't watch us right now, I'm touching my nose. Touching the tip. You know what that is?
Look at my flashlight. Don't turn your head, please.
The ones.
Oh boy,
that's awesome.
We have fun here on the Raw.
That's because they drink and drive, folks.
Yes.
Sorry if you didn't get that, people.
I think everyone got that one. Also, the King is back. He says Triple H milked every Canadian that they had in the back and passed talents for SmackDown and Raw. Reminded me of an old Vinnie Mac thing. Well, speaking of milking old talent, let's get into Raw real quick because we had a little bit of a return. Trish Stratus.
Oh, man.
This time I rock and roll. This time I make it true.
So good.
Trish Stratus was back. She didn't really do much. It was kind of just like, little segments with Control, Bailey's group, going, head to head with Bailey
Control.
and all that stuff, putting over Aaliyah and Bianca and all these different people.
She looked great,
and
first and foremost.
Well, obviously.
Yeah, always. And Trish being back in itself, it was what it was. It was just a little thing there. But I think what's more interesting is that next week in Pittsburgh, Kurt Angle is going to be making an appearance.
Yeah,
too.
buddy.
So do you guys seeing this becoming a regular thing of, having...
Sure hope not.
Say that again, J-Bone?
I hope not.
You hope not? I mean, even if they're not doing anything?
Decided those new Legends deals, baby.
Yeah. I mean, it's a very Vinnie Mac thing to do. I don't know. It's whatever. It's fine.
See, I don't know if he would do. I don't know if Vince McMahon would do that. Have like in each hometown have someone appear. I don't know if that.
I mean, he's done it a few times. Not like week to week.
Yeah.
But
well, his thing is using the Legends as ratings boost. Doing the Raw Legends night or whatever,
and then shitting on them when they come on TV.
Yeah. Or having their legends shit on younger talent and bury them. I wouldn't mind if this is just you come in because you're in the hometown, put over younger talent, and then just leave. Like, I'm cool if it's just that. But I mean, it depends. If it's someone like Trish, I wouldn't mind seeing Trish back in the ring. Like, Trish Stratus versus Bailey. There's a few different options that you can go with. It's not necessary, but I think it would be, she looks in great shape. She can fucking get back in the ring.
That's fine.
Definitely.
Sure, everyone.
What are you gonna do? It's gonna be the same song and dance. You're gonna have to let you come back. Oh, you need to respect me. Blah 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 blah. Well, you're in the past. I'm in the present. Blah 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 blah. And then what's gonna end up happening? Trish is gonna go over or whatever.
True. You need to make it interesting.
Make it interesting. Like, it's do longer feuds. Just don't just try to pop the rating, pop the pay-per-view rating, whatever.
Yeah.
Who cares? So
I get an idea. The replacement team in the women's tag team tournament should be Trish Stratus and Lita.
I'd be down for it if they win and then make it become a feud, something like
Io and Dakota versus Trish and Lita would be a fucking fantastic little match.
Yeah,
I'd love to see that. But we'll have to wait until next week to see what they're really doing with these legends. But it'll be fine. It won't be anything like we probably won't do a Kurt Angle segment next week unless he reveals that Chad Gable was his illegitimate son after all, and not Jason Jordan.
I can't wait till Raw goes to Arkansas and we get Henry O'Godwin back.
Oh man, that's gonna be great, dude.
They'll bring on anyone, I swear.
Triple H versus Henry O'Godwin in a pig pin match, whatever it was.
Just think of anyone Triple H is friends with, and that's who you'll see. Just associate.
What do you call it?
With
if they go to Kentucky, Hillbilly Jim, dude, that'd be sick.
Yeah.
Florida, we'll have Skinner. Huh?
Yeah. Country boy, country. I'll pop if that music hits on Monday Night Raw, dude.
God,
I lose my mind.
Let's talk about some current day wrestlers. However, Kevin Owens, we mentioned him last week. You guys mentioned him last week that we're getting more of the prize fighter Kevin Owens, and they went all in on Kevin Owens. Not only the prize fighter, but we got fucking NXT Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
I knew the shirt was coming back. We got that old duct tape Kevin Owens shirt.
Love it.
They gave this man his NXT Titantron with
Yeah,
the old
buddy.
like Windows Movie Maker little Kevin Owens font and everything.
Wow.
They're really going in on this, and he had a great match with Chad Gable. I thought he was going to bury Chad Gable, but they had a competitive match.
Good job.
What are your thoughts on Kevin Owens?
I mean, I know they were in Canada. You know, I guess I'm kind of surprised the way they booked that, as far as like, you know, he was working as a heel and coming to Canada, and he's babyface. It was interesting. It gave me Bret Hart 97 vibes, you know, a little bit, you know. So it's fine. Yeah. I think it was just mainly he was back in the home country, you know. So I don't think it was like, I don't think we're going forward, but I guess a little bit that I'm surprised he was put against a heel, you know.
Yeah.
Technically, you had heel versus heel here, you know. So I guess that's one thing, but you know, he got, of course, did the whole babyface thing, attacking the heater and blah 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 blah.
Yep. As long as they keep him as a heel,
it's cool though.
I think there was no way that anyone would have booed Kevin Owens in Canada.
Right.
They weren't even going to attempt it. So this week, I guess
that's why I said it's like Bret Hart vibes, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, have a good match with Chad this week, and then just because this also cuts off his ties from American Alpha Academy, which I think is good too, because they were
American Gladiators.
They were a team. They were a team for a while, so that kind of cuts their ties. Next week, you go back to, I want to see heel, serious Kevin Owens. He's seen too much, you know, baby face and like comedy Kevin Owens. Just if you want to do the prize fight, if you want to do NXT, go all in on it. Marco, any thoughts?
This was actually going to be my match of the week. This match here.
Hit the button for you. Hold on. My StreamYard is slow tonight. Here we go. Match of the week. Good pick for match of the week.
Good, but definitely this is gonna be my match of the week. I didn't think it was gonna be a burial by any means. I didn't think he was gonna come out and just like kick the shit out of Chad Gable, because if you've seen Chad Gable in the ring, you know what he can do. There's no, I mean, if you've been watching it week to week, you know that he's not going to get the shit kicked out of him. Dude's strong as hell. He could probably freaking, you know, he could do a lot of stuff to Kevin Owens. I mean, he doesn't look like he can like lift him up or anything like that, but he definitely could if he needed to. But yeah, no, I'm definitely going with this. It was just like you said, it was ultra competitive. It was like great give and take. I just didn't like. The only thing I really didn't like was the end, but I knew it was going to happen when a big guy came in and hit Kevin Owens from the back, and that kind of made it like he was like a baby face almost, like, you know, him dropping the stunners and all that stuff. But I guess you got to obviously, you know, get the crowd to go home happy with all that stuff. But yeah, no, I'm excited for Kevin Owens. I'm hoping he comes out and does something to Kurt Angle next week.
That's a good call.
That's a good one.
I really, if they want to go heel Kevin Owens, that's the way to do it.
Stunner or pop up power bomb, or they even let him do his other finisher move. Did you see that? That's something actually.
Oh, the pile driver.
Yeah, the pile driver off the turnbuckle. Yeah. That they kind of like banned that shit.
Yeah.
I was surprised to see that happen. I was like, holy shit, they actually let him do it.
Yeah, man. I'm excited for this Kevin Owens. Like the littlest, like just a Titantron, like made me so happy because it shows that they really want, and they did it before when he was in that War Games match in they gave him that whole look. So I don't know, man. It's really looking good for Kevin Owens right now. I'm happy. I'm happy to see it.
And next Monday is 6 years to the day that he won the Universal title.
Nice.
So,
and also 6 years to the day when your son was born.
Yes, exactly. I mean that too, but more importantly, Kevin Owens won the Universal title.
Kevin Owens winning that title.
but I'm assuming something's going to happen that night, and it's definitely going to be something crazy.
Yeah, it has to.
Something. It has to be something with Kurt Angle. That's something I can think of.
Well, I'll go ahead, since we're talking about match of the week. I'll go ahead and talk about my match of the week. Should we do that?
Go ahead.
Okay. This one's kind of a little bit out there. I mean,
I had
Cut
to
me
cut
off
you
there,
off.
pal.
Sorry.
Like, I
Yeah,
was like,
pal.
did you do that on purpose?
Jesus Christ! All right, well, you know what? Payback's a bitch. Anyways, like I actually like the tag match with Ciampa and Miz versus Lashley and Styles. It was a good match. I mean, it wasn't the best wrestling match of the weekend. I mean, they had definitely some better matches, like in ring action, I would say, but that ending, man, it was awesome with Dexter Lumis. That's storytelling, bro.
And I'm gonna say it again, dude. The Miz is fucking gold, dude. I want to see him and AJ Styles wrestle all the time now.
So
I don't know what it is. It seems like they're not.
A good pairing.
It seems like Styles clash with them too, but for some reason, when they're in the ring together, when they're doing stuff, I don't know. I'm not even surprised these words actually coming out of my mouth. I want to see.
So I just had something that just hit me all of a sudden. Okay, so you had the false attack on AJ Styles, right?
Yep.
Right. Yep. Why couldn't that have been revealed to be Johnny Gargano?
No. Hell no. I don't even know why I thought about that.
That would be story. No. He's been introduced into a story. All right. Anyways, we're done talking about that. But anyways,
there's an AJ.
Never put if anyone from WWE is listening, never put J-Bone in charge.
Oh
of
my
creative.
God! Put me in charge.
Listen, you want a good Judgment Day story? You got this guy right here. Speaking of
Judgment Day,
that was a perfect transition because we're about to talk about our last little segment here. Edge versus Damian Priest. We already talked about what happened after the show, but we had a whole 18 minutes of Edge versus Damian Priest. They got some good time on this match. And it was a solid match. And then we have all the stuff with Beth Phoenix after the fact. I think that's worth talking about as well. Yeah, J-Bone, I'll let you go on this one. Well, first, what did you think of the match? And also,
it's a good match.
Beth Phoenix getting involved in this.
100%. It's going to be Edge and Beth versus Rhea and Finn. And, you know, I don't know. It's
no good.
No, just not. This is how I feel about it. Yeah. Or maybe this.
Hey, he's gotta puke! He's gotta puke!
I hit the wrong one at first. Sorry.
What I'll say about it, and Marco, I'll let you go, is I think introducing Beth, I don't want it to happen. I'll say right now, I don't think it's good, but keep up with the Judgment Day story. It still keeps up with this idea that there's no
story left.
Hold on.
There's nothing left.
There's still no leader. So it's not like Finn is the chosen one to face Edge. So, you know, if you do it in a tag team match, at least it's Rhea and Finn going up against Edge and Beth.
Yeah.
But then again, I don't think Beth should be involved in this whatsoever. Just do Edge and Finn. That's what everyone wants to see. Don't have Beth Phoenix in here. It's not going to make the match any better. Anyways, Marco, go ahead.
I know why they're introducing Beth. She's probably going to be a casualty of the Judgment Day if they continue this. That's definitely happening. I'm not sure if they're going to go the route where Seth Rollins did some breaking and entering and showed up at their house. That was actually pretty funny though. He has his feet up on the table,
drinking the orange juice and everything.
Yeah, drinking the orange juice and talk about how his daughter's artwork is shitty. That was hilarious. But anyway, I could see definitely a mixed tag match headed down the line soon. I'm hoping Edge loses this battle. I don't think. I wish he didn't win last night. I don't think he needs the win. Yeah, I think Damian Priest should have won, or should have been like a DQ or something something where Edge didn't get a win over Damian Priest, because now I have to side with J-Bone, where it makes him look weak. Like why did he have to win? Is it like, I'm gonna beat all the members until I get to Finn Balor and Finn Balor wins?
So look, including Beth into the story, if they do a mixed match at Clash of the Castle, at least you could have Rhea pin Beth, so it keeps Edge strong, but ultimately it gives Judgment Day a good little push, a little
it
rub.
gives him a light still.
Should you just have, and it's okay that Edge wins here because you don't want him to win overall because then he wins the feud. So give him the win over Damien. Doesn't really mean much. You could have Finn beat Edge. I don't think they're going in that route. Just have Rhea beat Beth. It's the safe route. I don't know. They got to be careful with this.
You, the audience, are quite frankly tired of having your intelligence insulted.
That's Vince McMahon now watching his product.
They gotta be careful with it, but right now it's okay. But Beth, I'm a little nervous.
I'm afraid if more members of Judgment Day lose, which is basically one more member, that he is gonna kill the Judgment Day.
Well, they all got new theme songs too, so that really shows you that they're in it to win it.
Yeah. I mean,
I didn't even notice it, honestly.
Yeah, they had new. Finn Balor had new theme music.
Finn's is weird. Does not fit him whatsoever.
No,
this whole thing doesn't fit him.
Well, he can't have the banana. He can't have that whole thing because that's.
I do like face. That in the new entrance, he like gets ready to do the little thing, and then he just like stops and he stays on the ground, and everyone else does it. I think that's
cool. Or they can give him his. I know they really can't give him his Demon Finn music because that's different too. Yeah, I don't know.
Give him some Bullet Club music.
Demon Finn wins against Edge.
I don't know, man. I want them to survive. I want them to.
It's dead.
It's dead. I think they need another member to show up.
Yeah,
should be scared. Just join the old J-Bone. I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about with Johnny Gargano.
Yeah, you really won him over on that Gargano thing, didn't you?
I won him over definitely won him over on the Judgment Day. It's dead.
Yeah.
So there we go. King right here. Judgment Day team equals Jobber team. Jobert. So let's put it up here. Well, I forgot I can put it up here. Look at that. Look at that. Boom. Hey, good job, King.
Jesus Christ, I think maybe we need a little work there.
Need a little work on those opinions, J-Bone.
I don't think so, pal.
Look, it's time to ask the age-old question to end off this episode.
Who won the week?
Red pill or blue pill? J-Bone, go ahead.
Even though my match of the week was on Raw, I'm going to give the edge to SmackDown this week.
Wow.
Ooh.
Elaborate a little.
Just slightly.
Yeah, elaborate.
So I think it was just a more snappier show, more story. Excuse me. More story throughout the night. I think we just had kind of like just random matches on Raw. Okay. And honestly, like I think if it wasn't for that tag team match, that 5-way match would have been my match of the week.
Sure.
So I mean, honestly, I could have gone either match, but
yeah.
And I knew probably we weren't going to really talk about it too much, so that's partially why I brought that match of the week.
Yeah.
So I just think it was just I love the ending segment with Roman and Drew. Honestly, the build of this Roman and Drew has been spectacular.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. So
there you go.
So I knew I was gonna like it. I but I think it was better than what I anticipated.
To be fair, you guys were talking about Drew. Drew should be the guy to challenge Roman and everything. So I'm happy that at least they won you over on that.
Yeah. So when we got preview next week.
Job on building up Drew, like with the Sheamus matches, and
done a very good job.
Really good ending segment. So I'll give them props. They're doing it, and I agree. Drew wasn't really a good candidate going up against Roman. Like Happy Corbin, going up against him, but very fast they flipped the switch on him, which I think is great. Marco, what are you going with?
Man, you definitely go with either show this week for me anyway, as far as matches. But I think I'm gonna go with SmackDown as well.
Nice.
Maybe because the story, like you said, it was more cohesive as far as the storylines go. I think I think right now Raw has to, obviously it's 3 hours. There's still a lot of story to be taken care of, and I think it's pretty much Triple H trying to untangle some cord still on Raw. Raw is really good. Like, it's been good since he's taken over, but I think there's still some, like, as far as like say cohesive storylines. Maybe just because it's a longer show, it doesn't seem like that.
Right. I was about to say that
the right way, but it just, and I'm a fan. Like I said, I've said this plenty of times. Fan of Sami Zayn. I just love that storyline with him and Roman Reigns
really
hanging
good.
out in the dressing
It's
room.
really good.
It's awesome.
He's all excited that he's sitting with the tribal chief. He's like, "It's my phone." He's like, I can answer your phone? What? Like that? Just that whole thing is hilarious. And just him, like,
the man.
But the other thing, here's what I kind of alluded to, the cracks in the bloodline, is Sami Zayn kind of planted a seed in Roman Reigns' head about Jimmy, or was it Jay? Jay. And he kind of left him thinking, like, yeah, this guy, he's always yelling on the phone. He's always thinks he's in charge and all this shit. So, like, I think they kind of plant early seeds in that, like, I'm not saying they're disbanding anytime soon.
Yeah.
But I think you're just getting people prepared for the inevitable. He has to be.
I think this is just a way. Me personally, I'll keep it short. I just think this is a way to get Sami Zayn out of the bloodline, because Roman was very sarcastic in that. I feel like he was like, "Yeah, no, you're right. No, we gotta sort Jay out. Answer my phone. Tell him."
Then he tried to call, and then they didn't answer. He tried to call. Maybe like grabbed his phone after and called, and he just put his phone down, all pissed off. So
true.
I don't know.
That's a good detail. I will say SmackDown's gotten a lot better with the storytelling. SmackDown for a while was like the storytelling spot for Roman, and then
whenever you and Tom were doing the SmackDown recap last year, SmackDown was the A show.
Was the shit in like late 2020, early 2021, and then it turned to shit. But now we're back. I think SmackDown's been doing great lately. However, I'm going to give it to Raw, one, to change it up a little bit, but also, I think Raw just, they're really succeeding with these just great matches. I think something that I picked up on with this Triple H regime is that they've taken the idea of having short matches that mean nothing and lead to, more story. And they've just said, well, why have short matches when we can just have long, really good matches to fill out the time, cut the bullshit, to have those longer matches and still tell the story at the end? Because, like, J-Bone, your match of the week was the tag team match that ended in a disqualification. So you still had a fantastic match, but it was a match that continued a story. So I think that is a really smart way to go about things. I'm happy that they're doing it that way.
Yeah.
So I love the tag team match. Gargano stuff was cool. The Edge main event was great. Even everything with Bayley's group and the tag team. I think Raw is really strong right now. And I'm happy that I'm happy that we're at the point that we can reintroduce Who Won the Week and really have like a good, who actually won the week kind of thing. Because I really wasn't expecting SmackDown to be the odds-on favorite this week from you guys. I thought it was Raw all the way, which I guess is the beauty of this segment nowadays.
That's because your opinion sucks. So
that's because my opinion is right, and sometimes the truth hurts. J-Bone. I want to call out this comment from the King because he mentions, I don't like that Triple H is making Raw into NXT. Triple H needs to go forward. NXT Black and Gold is gone. No Adam Cole, O'Reilly Fish, Aleister Black, and others are gone. All we need is Triple H with his leather jacket coming out that he had since 2002. He also mentioned, I'm more hyped for what everyone has been talking about, which is Punk turning heel and MJF returning as a babyface after the Punk and the Mox match. Well,
Punk's been a heel. He's like Hogan, dude.
I'll say this, King. I hope that doesn't happen simply because, what does Jim Cornette say? Lazy booking.
Yeah.
Lazy booking.
Don't
bring MJF
He'll
back.
say, why don't you get Twinkle Toes in there and Twinkle Toe around the damn ring?
McFinger bang.
And the whole
Double mayo.
double mustard, double meat, you motherfucker.
I love his takes, dude. They're hilarious.
Stupid
When he
motherfucker.
recaps, I love the tavern. I love the recap show. I love the the flagship show. But man, they have some competition with Cornette and his recaps of AEW programming.
Dude, I love
very
Cornette.
entertaining.
The all burial wrestling show.
Honestly, some of his stuff I agree with.
It's funny, man.
If you listen to all 3 hours, he makes a few good points.
I'm not sure if I agree with everything, but I just think he's freaking hilarious. Just some of the shit he comes out with is fucking funny.
He's like the what's the Alex Jones of the wrestling world.
Yeah. The Chad.
I think someone compared him. He mentioned that comparison. Dave Meltzer compared him to Alex Jones.
There you go.
Cornette shot that down on his podcast. I'll tell you what. But that wraps up Who Won the Week. And folks, it's time to end this show. Folks, thank you so much for listening or watching or both to another edition of the RAWDOWN. J-Bone, what's going on in the world of Coming Down the Aisle?
Coming down the aisle this week, we got Jonah. My name is Jonah from Recap, Rewind, Relive.
Nice.
It will be on this week. We're going to be recording that interview tomorrow night. Excellent. So I don't know what match we're watching quite yet. I'm patiently waiting for my new gen arena so I can build it for you all. Nice. Free the fig. Free the fig, brother. Of course, like I mentioned at the top of the show, we got the long balls, the new NFL fantasy, NFL show. We'll be talking all things NFL. Next week, we'll be doing our 2022 season preview. So we did the fantasy preview. You can go back and check that out. Here on the Turnbuckle Tavern. Next week. Next week, there was some solid grades too.
Oh, yeah.
Next week, we'll be doing we giving our picks for the NFL season. Who's the division winners will be, and who's going to win the Super Bowl? Who's going to get the Hockenbony awards?
Hockenbonies.
Yeah. So definitely check that out. But of course, check out all things Coming Down the Aisle at comingdowntheaislepod.com. I think that's it. That's about it.
Cool. You got
and I've got a list. A new list coming out this weekend. It'll be the top 10 Kevin Nash matches. So me and Miles will be recording that. I'll be busy boy this weekend. So
nice. I love it. You got a lot of stuff going on, man. I'm enjoying it. Marco,
booked and busy over there.
Marco, Chick-fil-A show.
Oh yeah. So I think we're in our Chick-fil-A show group chat. I think they're gonna try to get the band back together.
Yes.
If we got to work around Sheena's schedule because she's a busy woman, as you know. We're surprised she did a couple of shows this past week. If you listen to Jillville, she was on there. She was on my show, Open Mic. So she's busy. She's making her rounds there. So, but yeah, I think we might be doing a preview show. I think that's happening for Clash of the Castle. So we'll see. Other than that, you can check me out, Open Mic with the MVP Marco. It seems like it's weekly now. I'm a few episodes in. Definitely go listen to them. My last episode was with Figure Kingdom. Got some some feedback on that one. A lot of people like that one. It was a little different than what I would normally go down. We didn't really talk wrestling. We talked more like life, motivation, and all that stuff. He dropped some pretty bombshell news, if you haven't heard already, which is pretty cool. So definitely listen to that.
He buried Tom, which was my favorite.
Yeah, he buried Tom as well. I'm all for the burials. If you want to come on and do the same, that's fine.
Tom was so heated.
My show's going to be a beacon for beef. So if you want to,
a beacon for burials.
A beacon of beef? Is that what you said?
Beacon
I love
of
it.
Beef and burial.
Beef. Okay.
So if you want to air your grievances, come on, just call somebody out on my show. Let's do it.
Let's do it right now. I hate Anthony.
Nice. I hate Anthony too. Look,
but other than that, so I'll be doing another show this week. my guest would be Marie Shadows. So she was a ex WWE employee, technically writer. That was her thing. Right now, she has her podcast out as well. She has a lot of blogging for I can't even talk. NJPW, I believe MLW as well. So whenever on, talk that talk. Ask the questions that I think people want to hear. So that's gonna happen, and that's pretty much it. Do the normal. Follow IG Chick Foley on IG. Follow Chick Foley Show on Twitter. Pod Foundation, obviously IG. That's where you can follow everyone. Turnbuckle Tavern, Coming Down the Aisle, Extra Cooler, and of course the Chick Foley Show. Obviously chickfoleyshow.com. Join the Facebook group. $2 gets you in. I see a lot of new gens being sold around different groups and stuff like that. So if you missed out on it, there are people that bought multiple ones.
I'll have one on sale soon.
Oh, look at this guy at a reasonable price, hopefully. But
yeah,
a reasonable eBay price.
Yeah,
yeah,
$600 gets you a new gen ring.
Yeah. Did you get the early bird?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got that. Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. Check us out everywhere.
And you can catch a new Independent Epicenter video coming out tomorrow. I don't know what time. It's either tomorrow or Thursday, depending on when they post it. But it is for Let Them Fight Summer Wars. I got an interview with social media champion Mucho Chris Moljo and his tag team partner Big Trouble Ben Bishop. I also have a pretty good little hype video for a match coming up that you'll see in the video for TKO Konsenko versus Jack Tomlinson. And both of those guys have a little Spider-Man-esque gimmicks. So
Jack's the man.
Jack's the man, dude. I love Jack. TKO is cool too. Both of them are really great guys. So we got a little bit of a Marvel-esque theme to this video package. So you're definitely going to want to check that out. And I mentioned it on the last episode that I was on, but there's some little things that are being posted. I haven't seen any more yet, but keep your eyes peeled. Turn your attention towards loading.tya is the new Instagram to follow for some interesting stuff going on. Loading.tya, and perhaps you'll be able to learn more about something that's happening soon.
Choding.tya?
Loading.
Sorry.
The CH is silent on that. Loading.
Like comb.
Oh boy. But that's enough shit. Folks, if you liked what you heard, and I know that you did, make sure to tune in to all of our Turnbuckle Tavern shows by going on over to theturnbuckletavern.com. That is where you're going to find all of our tavern socials, listen to our podcasts, watch our videos, join our Discord with some great like-minded individuals and J-Bone. And then you have your socials that you can follow on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and buy our merch. ProWrestlingTees.com/tavern gets your very specific tavern shirt. If you want to support a specific member of the tavern, like yours truly, you can get my shirt. And then you can go over to Teespring for some shirts that you couldn't get on Pro Wrestling Tees, like the RAWDOWN logo, Mr. Backlash. Get stickers and mugs. I mean, what else could you want? And finally, call the tavern for a nice little surprise. 304-404-2004. Get your voice played on the flagship show. That's 304-404-2004. Haven't got a call in a while on there, so leave a voicemail, and I'm sure the Two Bad Chads will get to your call ASAP. That's 304-404-2004 is the number to call. Folks, we will see you next week. And don't forget, in 2 weeks, we'll be moving to Thursdays. Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
2 weeks.
Next week will be the preview show where I take down young Anthony.
Oh, boy. That's until next week. And until then, take care, spike your hair, woo, woo, woo. You know it.